Hey friends, Justin here with a review of the 2001 Angelina Jolie vehicle, Tomb Raider. So this is one of my favorites. I had a lot of fun with this when it first came out. Um, Angelina Jolie, this is pinnacle Angelina Jolie. You know, she had just come off of an Oscar run, and Hollywood had entrusted her and her brand with a huge franchise. And as a huge fan of Gia and some of her other roles, at the time I couldn't be happier. For me, part of the LGBT community, Angelina Jolie was the James Dean archetype for my generation. I hope that sinks in. She was the coolest girl in Hollywood. She represented, rebellion and freedom and this and that and the other. And so I really love that this movie was very Angelina-esque, even though she really embodied Lara Croft, in the mannerisms and the costume and the setting and everything. They allowed Angelina to shine through because she was such a firebrand at the time. Her love of freedom, her love, when she's dancing around her living room on those ropes, that the feeling of freedom, the fighting that robotic monster, and then listening to that rave club music. It was very cyberpunk and very on brand for Angelina. And that really wasn't lost on me as a super fan. I love that they were kind of setting the ecosystem up for this to be a franchise, and they did do a sequel that we'll talk about. I'll do a video about the sequel that I also enjoyed. And I thought Angelina Jolie's look was really revamped a lot for the second one. But they were really setting up an ecosystem here. Every time she left the house, she was in a different vehicle. So the kind of the Batman, the different vehicles. This movie, and then, she would go to Sotheby's, she would go here. And then even when she went to Cambodia and different places, she had a backstory with some of the people there. So they were setting up this ecosystem that she was this James Bond-esque character. And for me, thinking that she was James Dean at the time, that was top of the pops, So Hollywood either intentionally or unintentionally, gave me a wet dream at I don't know how old I was, 15 years old or whatnot. The only downside to this movie, and it's not even a downside, is that at the end, or not at the end, but at the first temple in Cambodia, when she jumps onto the whatever that spear is, that's got to pierce the glass in it. It looked like she was jumping onto a phallic symbol, and I don't know, that at her age that she was totally cognizant of it and totally on board. Now, there was a lot of innuendo. It was a very sexual and a very seductive movie, which is very on brand for early Angelina Jolie. But it bordered a little bit at that point on objectification. It was totally on brand. This movie was hugely successful, and made Angelina a true household name. But that was my only, kind of minor downer. I love the cinematography. When they go to Venice and they're in certain scenes and they're in the estate where she lives, it's just beautiful. The whole movie could have been her, going around some of these gorgeous grand rooms. And I'm taking decor notes, left and right. Oh, pair this, pair that, pair these colors. And the use of light and shadows, in the same way that Harry Potter, in the same way that Indiana Jones. I enjoy that. that the ambiance is set right. In films nowadays, unfortunately, you know, very few have that, and I don't know what that is. I love that, you know, her father was in it, so there was, you know, a little bit of life imitating art, art imitating life, and their, you know, kind of the dynamic of their relationship. But this is absolutely one of my favorites. You know, the planetary alignment every 5,000 years, it obviously, you know, coincides with her maturity. Her showing her kick-ass, you know, tenacity, style, and outwitting all of these guys, you know, and not having to show ego and not having to be the big man on campus. She outwitted them every time. And sometimes in letting them think that they were leading her or winning or this or that and the other, that's how she won. So I thought it was very cool. You know, I thought it was understandably selfless, you know, that she listened to her father and let him go at the end. You know, so this is one of my favorites. What do you guys think? Should I do the second Tomb Raider movie? I'm gonna watch it. Would you guys be interested in a review? What are your favorite parts? What's your favorite Angelina Jolie movie for any Angie fans out there? And as always, please give this video a like, a comment, and please consider subscribing to my channel for more movie and TV related content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.